You're welcome back. So there you go. This is Editors Forum. Let's get talking, gentlemen. Dr. Dio Coyote is still here. Yemi Saka is also here. Virtually, Kennedy San is also with us live from Calabar. Gentlemen, so the Senate has done Nigerians proud.
When you use the phrase, they've not done Nigerians proud, they've just done...
Okay, they have listened to the cries, the appeals of many Nigerians.
They just became sensible. That's just the truth. So they shouldn't be applauded for doing what is right or what is sensible. They shouldn't be applauded for now choosing to be wise than being otherwise. So I don't think there's anything for us to say.
But the issue is this: in the first instance, is this what you should be discussing about? This one has happened been happening since when? When Professor Jega was the chairman of INEC. All right, he introduced all these things, and all these things are in the pipeline. That is one. Two, the instrument that created INEC is that, look, this commission, you are independent. How are you going to give us credible, fair, and acceptable elections? Okay, and these guys, they have outlined it. Professor Yakubu have said it. So for them discussing it, they're just trying to take glory for where they're not supposed to. So to me, I don't glorify them for saying this, because this is not what they're supposed. I expect them to be talking about, look, how can we be in the studio here, monitoring elections, and at the same time making our vote. I mean, casting our vote from here through our systems. Do you understand? I want them to talk.
You're not surprised that...
No, sorry sir, they have not done anything rather than wasting all those days they have used to discuss that. They're supposed to be discussing how will Nigerians in Togo, in America, in UK, in the diaspora vote from there for candidates of their choice. How can people still be in their offices working, making their own money, and then at the same time vote? Not that you say because the election is coming up today, all activities suspended. No, we're supposed to have
no movement.
Yeah, we have to go beyond all this. They have just succeeded in wasting Nigerians' time.
All right, Saka, you were just a moment ago off behind cameras. You were
I was going to say that's what I want to say now.
Perhaps
about that word we agreed I shouldn't use.
Please don't use it because of the NBC.
Yeah, you see, for me, I remember when this thing was first debated on the floor of the Senate. Senator Alain Dume, not surprised, said, you mentioned for PDP, say yes, it's PDP that is pushing for this because they don't have Yahoo people. That was his choice of words, not me and not mine. And you can understand the thinking. And you see, when you look at that thinking of a public office holder, you imagine how progressive the laws this guy will push forward. Now that is one. Two, they keep coming up with arguments that yes, a region, their place, there's no network in their place. Their people are
in the north.
In the north,
or in some part of the north.
Some part of the north, their people are not enlightened. And I ask a simple question: in 1960, Nigerians across regions were told on your track or your mark, get set, go. What I mean with that, we're all given independence at the same time. Development was going at whatever pace you choose in your region. At the point you now had the unitary government, that everything comes from the center, that a region chose not to move at a pace that is developmental enough with the rest of the region, they shouldn't drag the whole country back. Now, there's hardly nobody, even those enlightened population is claiming that doesn't have a Facebook account. So did those guys employ genies to operate their Facebook account postings? So the argument is lame. And if you guys think, okay, and if you want some people to vote for you, then make sure they're empowered, they're enlightened. All right. Do them that favor. Don't use them as an excuse to keep on blackmailing or probably holding the whole country to ransom.
Yeah, so let's take the conversation to Calabar, where Kennedy is standing by. Kennedy, perhaps we should indeed hear your side of the story about the move by the Senate to authorize INEC to transmit elections results electronically. Do you think they should be commended in any way for listening to the criticisms and appeals from many sections of the country, perhaps?
Yeah, I'd like to commend the Senate for what happened, I think it was on Thursday or so. Because this has been an ongoing debate. And it was clear at some point that the National Assembly, especially the Senate, was not interested in giving Nigerians credible elections, in putting in place the necessary framework, legislative framework, of which Nigerians can have credible elections. So I'd like to commend the Senate for listening to the hearings of Nigerians, because I mean we now have a government that that seems to look like a bit oppressive, and so we're careful. Look at, you were cautioning my colleague the other time in the studio there, not to say what would anger the MDC. So we are at the mercy of those in government now. So as much as possible, we are careful about what we say, and trying to pacify them. These are not the things that are supposed. This is not supposed to be in a democracy. Freedom of speech in a democracy is guaranteed by the Constitution. And so when it becomes threatened, we have to be careful about what we say and all of that. So I give the Senate some credit with respect to how that they have listened to Nigerians and have told the path of honor by ensuring that Nigerians are able to have credible elections through electronic transfer of results and through electronic voting. I commend the Senate for that.
Share with us your thoughts on this issue of direct primaries for political parties. I mean, at the moment, the All Progressive Congress and even the People's Democratic Party, both parties are conducting state congresses in some parts of the country. We'll get into that. But what's your reaction to this move by the Senate to, direct primaries for political parties?
If you look at the history of
so it does appear that the network is freezing. So perhaps we'll get back to you, Kennedy, in just a moment. Gentlemen, I mean, we have to discuss this alongside Dr. Dayo. This issue of direct primaries for political parties.
Yeah, much as I love direct primaries rather than delegates and the collegiate elections.
Because people think it's more democratic.
I don't think it is within the purview of the Senate to be telling parties how to conduct their primaries. Because as much as the federal constitution, the Federal Republic of Nigeria has its own constitution, so also parties, they have their own constitution. There, it is being explained in their own constitution that they can either have direct or delegates. Okay, so it is left for the parties, the leadership of the party, to pick which one they want to pick. Even though we know at some point, some leaders of parties will want to be selfish about it. They want to look at which one will pay me at this time, which one will not pay me at this time. Just as it happened in a particular state when a leader doesn't want a governor to go for a second term. Do you understand? But then this thing should be left for parties to decide. Except you now want to change that section of the Constitution of Nigeria that stipulates the independence of political parties. Okay, so it is outside the jurisdiction of
the
Senate to be discussing that. If they want to discuss it, they have to bring it under constitutional amendment.
All right, we'll get feedbacks from our viewers in just a moment. Saka, perhaps you should also you could respond to this move by the Senate as well to adopt direct primaries. Some people think the Senate is only making this move because in time past, world congresses, state congresses have
dealt to them
a huge this battle between senators and governors who seem to be more influential in this world and state congresses.
Well, for me, I'm not going to say so much, though I'm going to sound repetitive because my views is just going to align to what Dr. Kennedy said. It's a test of our constitutionality, because I think any serious political party, even if it's a mushroom one, pardon my choice of words, they should go to court and seek interpretation. And if the Senate has such powers to infringe on on the rights of the political parties, how they operate there. Because this is not, as much as this is to promote democracy, it's dictatorial. You're infringing on the rights of the parties to practice their brand or form or mode of internal democracy. You cannot dictate to me
how to run my house.
How to run my house. Then secondly, let's look at it. Direct primaries will be freaking expensive. And the good thing about it is you can have your, especially if you're doing your presidential primaries, you can have it in one day. That means you have to go state after state after state.
How about A4? But A4, option A4 worked.
No, but
option A4 worked.
No, but
it's similar. It's similar to direct primaries.
Yeah, but we look at a lot of things from 1992 to 2022, which the primaries are going to hold almost 30 years.
It's still the best option Nigeria ever adopted.
But there's now population spread. There's an issue of insecurity we need to consider. There's a lot of things that we need to put into consideration. But for me, it is the constitutionality of the pronouncement by the Senate, and it shows that oftentimes when these guys talk, they are not looking at the larger implications of the larger benefits of it or the benefits to the larger society. It's about advancement or securing or protection of personal political interest and fortunes. So, for test of democracy and popularity, direct primaries is good. And like what he said, if they want to make it a cast in stone rule and what's that, there's a need for them to amend the constitution. There are a lot of things they could do with the constitution. I remember on a platform with Festus Okoye, the publicity INEC and
National Commission.
We got talking, and I told him, and I said, why is it that Nigerian government agencies are so much in marriage? This marriage is hardship, that they want Nigerians to go through hardship just to prove a point. And he said to me, because I told him I had an idea of what software application and software engineering is all about. So you can't tell me you brought about all these templates and platform architecture and algorithm in 2 days. But he said it is up to the Senate to amend the laws that can empower them to deploy technology in the conduct and electoral process. So, and why? So you are now asking yourself a question: why did the Senate delay this long? A number election is coming up 2 months' time. They should have
less than 2 months. Actually.
Less than 2 months. There should have been a test run of this platform, of these applications. So when you talk about commending, applauding these guys at the Senate, I laugh because sometimes they are working in a total direction away from the aspirations of Nigerians.
All right.